So, you've decided you want to buy a brand new phone. And one of the big decisions you've got to make is whether you're going to buy the phone outright directly from the company or whether you're going to get it on a long-term phone contract. So in this video, that is exactly what we're going to discuss. So let's go. So, do you just buy the phone outright or do you get it on a long-term contract with a company? Well, I'm going to share a story with you, and this is me trying to do both of those things to see which one is better. And you can apply this to any company or any brand. You can apply it to Apple, Google, Samsung, or any of the other big phone brands, and you can apply it to pretty much any phone contract company. In this video, though, we're going to be comparing the differences between getting the phone from Apple direct or getting it from EE. And like I said, you can compare this to absolutely anything. But here, this is what is really interesting. So get yourself comfortable and we're going to share exactly what happened. So to start with, I didn't want to buy the phone outright. That's probably the best thing to do. If you want to buy a phone, the best thing to do is just to buy a phone outright because it saves you on interest. It saves you paying out monthly payments. But that's not an option for everyone because phones are very expensive nowadays and they can cost upwards of £1,000 or $1,000. So most people, or a lot of people, will opt to get it on a contract because it spreads out the cost monthly. It's easier to pay off over a longer period of time, and that's just what a lot of people choose to do. So that's what I decided to do. If you want to get the phone outright and pay for it outright, and you want a phone that's going to last you 2 or 3 years before you need to even think about upgrading, that is probably the best thing to do because it's going to save you money in the long term. You can get a SIM-only contract that's going to be a lot cheaper and a lot better to run, and that's basically going to be the best thing to do. So if that's what you want, then I would advise to do that, and if you've got the disposable income to do it. However, like I said, for most people, they're going to get it on a contract. So let's discuss these options. You've basically got an option of getting something called Apple Upgrade. So you can either get a phone contract from a company like EE, and most of you might be wondering, what on earth is EE? EE is a phone company here in the UK that basically operates on phone contract systems. Much like in the US, probably one of the biggest providers in the US is Verizon. In the UK, EE is one of the biggest providers in the UK. So the difference here is between whether buying it direct from Apple or getting it from EE. This is both on a contract system. So in Apple, they have something called the Apple Upgrade system, where you get the phone on a contract and you can pay it out monthly. And then every 12 months, you can upgrade the phone completely for free to the latest model. So the best time to obviously take this system out is around September time, because that is when Apple always launch their brand new iPhones every single year. They will launch their phones around September. So if you get the Apple Upgrade system started, if you start a new one in the end of September, October, then every year when the new iPhone is released, you can just get the brand new iPhone and you can just hand in your old device, get the brand new iPhone, and you don't pay anything more for it. The way this works is you have to go into an Apple store and say you want to go into the Apple Upgrade system. You then have to find a store where they have the iPhone available, and then you book in a slot to collect it. You then, on the day that you collect it, need to bring in some form of ID, like a driver's license or a passport or something like that, and then all your basic details so they can run a credit check on you. Then when you collect the phone, your phone will be completely unlocked and completely SIM-free. And you can then go to any provider that provides SIM-only plans, and then you can get a SIM-only plan on that phone. So you're paying for the Apple Upgrade program monthly, and then you would also get a SIM-only plan. Now, this will work out roughly the same as getting a phone on contract with any other company, because when you take a phone contract out with another company, half of it will be for the phone and half of it will be for the phone contract. So it's the same principle, just with Apple. So we're talking about Apple first here. Now, here's the issue I had with this. I went into an Apple store and said I wanted to go on the Apple Upgrade system. I tried to do this on launch day, right, which is when the iPhone launched and pre-orders were available. I then went in and said I wanted to go on the Apple Upgrade system. The Apple representative was really helpful. Took me to a MacBook or whatever. They have loads of MacBooks and Macs around the store. They helped me to try and book this slot in to get it booked in. The only stores that were available were about 300 miles away from where I was. So I went to a store in Cambridge, but I'm in the middle of between Cambridge and London. So that's where the nearest Apple stores are for me. So I chose Cambridge. It's a really nice city up there. If you've never been, I recommend it. So I went up to Cambridge, went into the Apple store, and I wanted ideally to pick it up from either there or somewhere in London. He was completely unavailable anywhere in London or Cambridge. up until the end of November, beginning of December. So the nearest place was like 300 miles away. So I provisionally booked it just to get a slot in. I was never going to go, but they said you can always check every day, refresh it and try and get a new slot. So then I tried to do that and I said, right, can I do the finance now and try and get on the finance? And they said, no, you've got to do it on the day. And so I said to them, okay, so what if I go all of that way and then suddenly get rejected for finance? Now, it's unlikely I'll be rejected for finance, but I wanted to check. And the reason why I asked this is basically because my brother applied for the Apple upgrade program and got rejected. Now, this is somebody who has an excellent credit score, has a very well-paying job, always pays his bills on time, he's not in any sort of debt whatsoever, and he is pretty much a perfect credit candidate. And he got rejected for finance. And I asked the Apple representative, I said, why on earth would this happen? And they said their answer with this was as follows. If you apply for the Apple upgrade system and you go through the terms and conditions too quickly and click accept, then the algorithm will think you're a bot and will automatically reject you. They said it's a problem they're facing. It's happening to a lot of people. So just be aware of that. Now, the Apple upgrade system, the contract and the terms and conditions are about 90 pages long. So I don't know anyone in their right mind that's going to want to read 90 pages worth of terms and conditions. Now, I'm not going to recommend you don't read them. I would always recommend you read them, but nobody is going to read 90 pages worth of terms and conditions. So flicking through them is what most people are going to do, to be honest. So I found that a bit strange that he got rejected. So then I had to do pretty much the same thing. So then, after I'd provisionally booked my slot was 2 weeks away. So it was a week or so after launch day. So I went into the EE store next door, which is a phone company store. And I said, my contract is already out of date. I'm looking to start a new contract with the iPhone 15 Pro. This is what I want to get. I want to upgrade it every single year. Is that possible? And the representative was really nice, really friendly. And now this is my EE experience. So the representative was really friendly, really nice. And they said to me, you can get the iPhone 15 Pro in whatever color you want, whatever storage option you want. So I said, okay, I'd like the space gray version or the black titanium version, whatever it's called. And I would like the 256 gigs of storage, please. They were like, no problem whatsoever. Booked me in on launch day. So the day the iPhone 15 Pro launched, and they booked me in on launch day, and they said, come in whatever time you want. Doors open at 9 a.m. Whatever time you want, come in. So I booked that. I only had to pay a £25 deposit, which was refundable when I collected the phone. And that was it. That was all I had to do. So then I left the store. So basically, here's what happened in a nutshell. Apple, on one hand, said that I had to book a slot wherever the store was available. I had to pick between whatever storage and color options were available, because not all of them were available for me to choose from. And I had to pick whatever Apple store was available to go to in that time when the phone was ready. Now, I know I was trying to do it around the time the phone was launching, so it's going to be a little bit difficult and there's going to be some supply issues. But still, Apple should have anticipated there's going to be a massive phone launch, and they should have known that there's going to be high demand for this phone. And it was incredibly impossible for me to even book to get a phone. And then I went to EE and they said, yep, no problem, coming on launch day. So then fast forward to launch day, right? I didn't bother with the Apple upgrade program. I cancelled that order. Fast forward to launch day, right? The day the phones are released, I went into the EE store at 9 a.m, sat down with a lovely fellow called Carl who helped me out. Sat down with him at 9 a.m. and he booked. There was no mile-long queue for the phone or anything like that. Went in, sat down, got my phone, signed the contract, and he confirmed to me that in a year's time, at 12 months, I can come in when the iPhone 16, presumably it's going to be called the 16, when the iPhone 16 lineup is released next year, when the pre-orders are available, I can come into the EE store and I can pre-order my new iPhone. And then on launch day, I can hand in my old phone. They can clone it with the new one, so everything is cloned over. And then I can just walk out with my new phone, which has all of my contacts, all of my photos, all of my apps, everything literally cloned onto it. And I can do that every year. And the payment wasn't really anything more than what you would usually pay for a phone contract. So it was a very, very simple and nice and easy process to do. The funny thing was, I then wanted to go into the Apple store to buy a new phone case for my new iPhone 15. And there was a queue a mile long for people to go and buy the iPhone 15 lineup. And all of these people, I started asking people in the queue, all of them had either bought the phone outright or got it on the Apple upgrade system. And they were all queuing. The queue was literally a mile long, going halfway down the shopping mall. And I was asking them, and they said, yeah, we've pre-ordered the phone. We had to pick basically what colour we could get, and we had to be picky about it because we had to settle for something because we couldn't get the options we wanted because it was very, very fast selling out. And this queue was ages, really, really long. I went to the front of the queue and said, hi, I don't need a phone, I just want to go and browse. And they said, yep, just walk in. I went in and I bought the fine woven case for my iPhone 15 Pro, and there's a video on that coming up. So if you're curious about the issues with the fine woven case, stay tuned for that because that's going to be coming up very soon. But the Apple representative in the store said to me, "What can I just ask you? What was your experience?" Because they saw me with my EE bag at this point, and they said, "Have you got the new iPhone 15?" I said, "Yes, I have. I bought it from EE. I've literally walked in and got my phone and left." And they said, "Can I just ask, what's your experience with EE?" This is an Apple representative asking me this. And I said, it was great. I tried to buy my phone from Apple on the Apple upgrade system. I couldn't do it. It was near on impossible to do. And they said I had to come in on the day I was picking up the phone to go through the contract system. And if I got rejected for that, then I can't get it. I basically got to buy the phone outright there and then. And the Apple representative said to me, yeah, that's not surprising. That I've heard a lot of people say they've had issues buying the phone from Apple or getting it on the Apple upgrade system with Apple, and they've been going elsewhere with EE to get their phone, and it's been an absolute doddle. It's been so simple to do. So I don't blame you for doing it. And that is an Apple representative telling me that. Here's your options. You can buy it from Apple Direct and get it on the Apple upgrade system, or you can buy it direct from them and pay for it outright, or you can go to a company like EE or any other company that's available in your area, and you can basically ask to get it on a yearly upgrade system where you're paying the same amount of money that you would be anyway for a phone contract, but you just get a brand new phone every single year. Now, just to put this in a bit of comparison for you, my brother, remember the one who couldn't get it on the Apple upgrade system, he decided to buy the phone outright from Apple and get it delivered direct to his door. So they told him it would be delivered on launch day. So I went into my store at 9 a.m, picked up my phone, no queue, walked straight in, sat down with this lovely fellow called Carl, got my phone done and left with it. I was out of the store by 9:30. I was back home by just after 10 a.m. My brother didn't get his phone delivered till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I know we're talking fine margins here. What difference does it make? You got it the same day. I get what you're saying. But realistically, you can get it delivered. You get it delivered straight to your door. You haven't got to leave your house and you can get your phone. Fine, if that's an option that works for you, then go for it. Alternatively, if you want your phone the day it's released and you want it the minute it's released, then just go with a phone company and get it on a contract, and you will get it no hassle, no fuss, no queue, no aggro. Just go into the store on release day, get your contract, and that's it, done. So now every year I can get a brand new iPhone. I haven't got to sit in those queues to get it, and it's just going to be a nice peaceful process for me. And I just wanted to share that with you, just to give a little bit of a comparison for something you're looking for, whatever it is you want to get, because there will be some people who are battling with the decision of, do I get my phone on the Apple upgrade program, and how easy is it to get the Apple upgrade program, compared to, do I get it from a store, from a phone company and get it on a contract, or do I just buy it outright? Those are all your options. That's my experience with all of those options. So I hope it's helped you a little bit. Thanks for watching, and if it has helped you, don't forget to subscribe for me. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.